Hello and welcome to WordPress Wednesday. So WordPress 5.3 is right around the corner. As is typical, this is the last major release of the year for WordPress, so there's going to be a new default theme included with this release. And keeping with the same naming convention, it'll be 2020. Now, I do want to mention that typically the default themes for WordPress don't have a lot of features. Instead, they focus more on styling and maybe what you can do with some of the new features included in the release. In 2020 really isn't any different. There are a couple of cool features, but you won't obviously see a bunch of the features that you might see in other themes. And that's okay, because this is usually intended for beginners, and the focus really is more on styling and the look. And overall, I really enjoy the look and feel of the 2020 theme. So today, ahead of the release, let's take a look at 2020. Okay, so when you come into 2020 theme, it won't be quite set up like this. I've gone ahead and kind of just changed a few things, kind of tried to recreate my own homepage here. A little bit difficult, but I was doing a lot of crazy things, kind of. But overall, I got a really nice feel for things. It's just a really cool sort of starter theme that you can really just play around with. And it's got a couple of really interesting features, so let's go through a few of them. So one of the coolest features that I've found with 2020 so far is this cover header block, or whatever you want to call it. You can do it for posts or pages, and it's really pretty simple to set up. I got it here on the home page. Go through how to do that. On this page, as you can see, I don't have it here, but I'm going to go in. Okay, so I'm going to go in, I'm going to select a featured image. Oh, this is nice. Got a nice A380 coming in. And I'm going to go down here to page attributes, and I'm going to select the cover template. Hit update. And now we go in and we're going to view the page, and there you go. There is your cover template. You can set the color you want here over in the customizer, which we'll get to here in it shortly. But other than that, I mean, it's really nice, that nice sort of parallax effect. Huge fan. I wouldn't use it for every page, but your biggest pages, your biggest posts, definitely consider using it. Next, 2020 comes with some styling for the blocks, especially sort of an updated one, and some really cool styling sort of with the block quote. See, sort of, this is all pretty basic, pretty normal. You know, again, basic styling. It's got styling really for this separator block, some pretty basic table block styling. Where you really start to notice it is here with the latest post grid view. This is something that's going to be new with the Gutenberg updates that'll be coming in 5.3. It's got some fairly basic styling, but something other theme developers can certainly look at for their own inspiration. These are your basic sort of block quotes. See different sort of alternate styles. And then we're going to come out in here. Let's go in this alternate block quote. And we're going to transfer them to pull quote. That is full align. All right. So this is really cool with pull quote styling. It's full width, or it can be full width, or wide align, or any of that. Got the quote thing up here, so we can obviously tell it's a pull quote. And then let's just go in and view the page. And still kind of a bit of a bug here. This should be white, it's black. Again, this is still in the testing phase as I'm recording this, so some things are still getting worked out. But overall, just line buttons, you can change these and all that, but overall it's fairly basic styling, but with basic things, people can build really cool things. So overall, +1 for the blocks on this one. So finally, there are a few sort of things you can do in the customizer with this theme, specific to the 2020 theme. The first is the colors. We can change the background color, sort of the main section. I do not recommend using this yellow color, but just using it to show off what you can do. And then you have a header and footer color you can change it to. A nice, nasty, clashing green you have here. And then also you have this accent hue color, which controls link colors, button colors, all those types of things. Just play around with it, find something you like. Let's go right there. And this is something that's cool, really cool. I never realized was in the customizer. This color slider, which I might have to try out sometime. And then we have a couple of theme options. You can show the search bar in the header if you want, and we can decide if we want to show full text or summary on the archive pages. And then lastly, we come across the color template styles that we can do. Here we can decide whether we want that background image, this background image to scroll with us, or just stay fixed. And then also we can change the overlay color. Whoa, there. As you can tell, it takes a little getting used to, but you can play around with that, and then we can play around with the color here. And then finally we can choose for overlay opacity. So we can either have that as high as it goes, or basically no overlay. But really, those are the things that you can do in the customizer to change the theme. It's, it is basic, admittedly, but if you play around with it long enough, or if you just know what you're doing, it really can become something powerful, and you can really change it into something that you like and something you could show to the world. So that's 2020 in a nutshell. Like I said, it's not necessarily heavy on the features, but it looks good, and if you're just starting out with WordPress, it's a really good template to kind of just play around with. And I think if you play around with it long enough, you can create some really cool pages and a really cool website with it. Personally, I probably won't use it very much just because I'm better off just with custom templates and whatnot. But if you're just starting out with WordPress and want to see what it can do and what you can do with it, it's a great default template to begin with. But I also want to hear from you. What do you think of 2020? Do you like the way it looks? Do you wish it could do more? Be sure to leave those down in comments below. I'm really curious to see what the community thinks of it. But until next time, happy WordPressing.